Looks at his watch, he's a time.
That's Mr. Jenkinson.
Yeah, was that Mr. Jenkinson that does it? No, I've got...
Oh yeah, you put the squeal in.
Yeah. And I wanted the top E there, which I can't do, so I had to go.
Yeah,
so that was no. That's
great little lick.
That's just a little moment from Colin Zeal.
Also, is the from Star Shaped. The
yeah.
That's
well, from
no, from.
What's your new side?
Yeah, Star Shaped.
Star Shaped, yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, it's yeah. I was trying to think if it's another song as well.
I do love Mr. Jenkinson. I think it's fucking great.
Yeah, so I whacked in that, and that was something where I went to do it. Went, oh fuck, the top E's not on there. I thought I'd just do it.
I was just getting a bit of rustle on that mic, Dave. So I think what it's doing is it's scratching on your t-shirt as you lean. So just
okay. So do you want to position it where it'll be somewhere decent? To have that kind of cutting edge energy where you're just going in and you're literally pissing on, well, not literally pissing on people, but you're just pissing on people all over. I'm just going to laugh now. And I thought his songs were shit. I'll be honest with you. I thought his songs were shit. It was all kind of sort of upbeat, sort of like classic kind of too fast, drummer overplayed, too many notes, you know, too many chords, too many everything. It was just, but there was something about him. He loved Blur, okay, and I don't know if you can tell through listening to the music, but I'm a big Blur fan. I like it. I mean, I try not to let it come out through the music. Okay, so he was going. So sorry, I've got to work out a way of not laughing. Right, so we'll take it. But so me and Chris, we met. Okay, and the thing is that I loved about Chris was that he's massively into Blur, and I was massively into Blur, and you know, I don't know if people can tell that from listening to music. I try to make the music as original as possible, but some of our influences do come out on it, and particularly the Blur thing, you know, we connected over, and also the Shadows. You know, my dad was a huge Shadows fan. He made me work out Shadows instrumentals on the guitar when he'd go off to work when I was a little kid and come back. So, and then I was meeting this guy, you know, and we literally just, well, not literally, stop doing that. I want to keep getting literally wrong. That's. So we were there.
Obviously, that spark that you guys have got with each other, that obviously comes across in the writing because you must do, you know, 50-50 or something like that, right?
Well, obviously, we all start out with these ideas of you get in a band and it's a democracy and it's socialist. Everyone's going to share the money and everyone's going to have all... And that's how they all start. And good, you know, fair play to the guys that do that. You know, you two have done really well. But I'll tell you what, if I was Bono or The Edge... and I'd put in clearly 90-something% of the work and the drummer's just as fucking rich as me, I'd be fuming. I'd be like that guy that just fucking taps away in the background that's done fuck all towards the writing. I'd be like, hang on a minute, come on, I want some money back. Give me my money back. But it's just not, I don't know, it's just, so I mean, I've got differences with that, but that's the idea. It was meant to be me and Chris writing. We had Nick.
Where did the name come from? Who came up with the name?
I think the name was a collective decision. We had a chat in a room and someone said it and I basically said, oh, that's a good idea. And I think someone said space and someone else said potato. And I think the real genius behind the name is not the space or the potato. It's the fact that I pluralised it. I made it potatoes because you can't be in a band with...
This is fucking gold.
Oh God! I'm trying to do this. I've been thinking about this for days. Right, start again.
Just slow down.
We'll slow it down. I'm trying to go between like real slow and real manic and look a bit crazy.
All right. Okay. So tell me about that.
The space potato. Yeah. Of course it was. We got signed. We got that. So there's a bit of me that does feel that you know it is my creation.
When you listen to a space,
just need a moment. Yeah. Water. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to keep it in character. It's really difficult, but.
Oh no.
Anyway, carry on. Let's do it.
When you listen to horrible to ask this question, and I hate to be the one to ask it, but you sometimes hear something that's familiar. You know, how do you get that familiarity into the tunes?
That coming from a geezer whose claim to fame is a fucking sausage roll. Anyway, leaving that aside, good questions.
All right, so obviously we're here. COVID has meant that the tour got delayed. Would you say? What would
I mean, look, I ran the numbers, and I don't think we're going out for many years yet. I'll be honest with you. I know the promoters have put off the February and March gigs. They've put them off till July, August, that kind of time. But, you know, we're here in April, and that's just not going to happen. I'm telling you now, it's not going to happen. This is going to go on for a lot longer. So we've all got to do other things, you know. We've all got to get on with it.
What would normally be happening if you you know... So I came out to film with you guys in Germany. I didn't see a single gig. What would normally be happening right now? You're in the middle of a worldwide tour.
Well, right now, I'd probably be on stage, to be honest. It's just after 8 o'clock in the evening. But a normal day on tour for me would be... I don't get up early. I stay up late. I'm a real night owl. I can't sleep. I find it really difficult. So, you know, sometimes I'll go to bed 6, 7 in the morning or whatever, and then I'll get up 2, 3 in the afternoon. And I'll roll in, have some dinner, do sound check, and then chill out. Usually set my laptop up, do some work. I like peace and quiet. I'll be honest with you, I really like peace and quiet. So I'll just sit on my own with a laptop, do some peace and quiet stuff, you know, do a bit of work. And then, yeah, meet the guys 5 minutes before we go on stage, we do the gig, and then when I'm off, go and sit on the bus and go in the top lounge and get my laptop and do some work. And I don't really... Once I socialise particularly, but Chris can be really over-enthusiastic on tour, you know, so like, he gets really excited. Like, when I get up mid-afternoon, he's been up since fucking 6 in the morning or whatever. So some days I'm lying in bed and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm thinking, I could get up, you know. I think, nah, I can't be bothered to go in the venue, I'd rather stay here. And then my bunk's my safe place, you know. I'm very much about being on my own and being in my safe place and not having anyone invade. I work with all sorts of things. I mean, I'm a real geek. I sit there and I code stuff. I work on other music. I mix and master songs for other bands and do production arrangement. I make music videos. I do animations. I mean, literally everything I touch is fucking brilliant. So people ask me to do shit all the time.
Fucking hell, you did that was very funny.
I know, that was really hard. It was really hard, and I don't mean it. Sorry if you're recording. I don't mean it.
No, I'm not filming.
No, he's filming. It's like, Jesus.
All right, okay, so
feel awful.
that leads in quite nicely, actually.
So I'll talk about that, and then you text me, Chris,
text you.
and I'll say, I've got to look up on Facebook, and then we'll cut and I'll find the Facebook video. And
Yeah.
so I'll talk about the fact that I was been making an album for a couple of bands, can't talk about it, and mixing for another famous prog artist. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
lovely. Right, okay. So, it's all right, because I'll just
April
get
the
some
1st. I'll just type in Chip Balm in the
Chip
search.
Balm. Fucking weird. It was played back and it was slow.
Oh, here we go. I found it because I copied it. Well, that's because you run your sound card at 44.1, not 48k. I've told you this. You can never. I've got to have a moan about how shit he is technically. Right, so here we go. This is Chris live. What's going on? Chip Balm live, streaming very soon.
What do you think he's doing? Is he going to be doing some space potato stuff?
Fucking hope not. He does these things. He's because he grew up with this northern working class sort of working man's club sort of bullshit that people do, you know. And there's no elegance to the music. So you give him a guitar and he turns into some sort of like pub singer or whatever. It's a bit like Vic and Bob, you know. It's like, it's like that on the guitar. And I prefer when he's doing something original, when he's singing, you know, the parts that I can't reach. To be honest, that's what he's there for, filling what I can't do. Which isn't much. Anyway, let's see how good he is. Fucking hell, how long does this take to start? Come on.
Right, do you want to, find
Let's just find it. see why we don't let him do any guitar solos really in the band. I can't watch that. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassment to the brand. It's an embarrassment. And, you know, we've got fans that will be watching that. Otherwise, we don't do the song. If the guitar breaks, we never play that song live again. It's just not going to happen. The thing is I know people that are like this. I've met... So John Paul was like that. I've met so many people like this.
So, tough questions, but some people bandy around words like control freak, you know... What would you say to that?
P45.
I think Prince used to say gardening. Did you hear that?
I don't know that, so I'm not interested in Prince, to be honest. Didn't he change his name to a symbol or something?
Yeah, Python. Yeah.
Look, I respect people who do their best. Okay? I respect people that come in and go, I want to do this, and I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, and it's going to be the best thing ever. And then they do it, and it is the best thing ever. And at that point, I'll go, I'm all for that. I want you on my team. I want you involved in my project because I know that you've done the best. I mean, there's people out there that have done that all through their life. I mean, you look at Freddie Mercury, he stands on stage, Wembley Stadium, back in 1986, and he dominated. He just sounded brilliant, and he reached every part of that stadium. He did what no one else was doing at that time, and he was just the best frontman that ever existed. So if he came to me and said, Dave, I want you to play guitar in a band, I mean, he's not going to now, obviously, but if he came to me and said, Dave, I want you to play guitar in a band, I want you to produce some stuff or whatever, I'd listen to him. I'd happily go on stage and I'd be second fiddle to Freddie Mercury because he's absolutely worth it, right? I'd even play second fiddle to I don't know, to Roger Taylor, the drummer. I love his voice. But if John Deacon came in and said, Dave, I want you to record an album with me and whatever, and we're going to call it the John Deacon Band, I'd be like, who the fuck's John Deacon? What'd you write? You're my best friend. Who? Fuck off. No. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we've got go through the songs.
Go for a piss.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So can we talk about the song "Think Out Loud"?
Yeah. That was really good. That was one of those songs that it's a real favourite of mine. What grates me on it is that I sent it to Chris without any words on it. I'd done all the music and I had ideas for lyrics and ideas for melodies. But I was really excited by the music and I sent it to Chris to have a listen to it, and then he sent me back a load of words and said, I've done all the words. And I was like, did I invite you to do a fucking co-write? And then, you know, problem is when you own a business with someone, and people don't look at it as a business. People see it as a band as some sort of hippie rock and roll dream. But actually, it's just a fucking business. It's a limited company. It's got a bank account. It's got shareholders, all that same old bullshit. We have meetings. And bottom line is, much as I hate it, Chris is a partner, Chris is a director, and he gets some stay, so sometimes he sends it back. And actually what he did on it was really good. I mean, it sounded better when I added my vocals to it, but I can't knock him for it. There's some great chords on it. There's some really, really good chords on it. You know, I'm missing a string off this. You can tell I haven't been out to it. My guitar tech's not done it. But there's all these kind of major sevenths, and I'm doing it in different places, like, and the bass is kind of this. It's working around a weird thing in C, but then I'm doing like D major 7 and C major 7. And I'll tell you what, I listen to that and go, where did that come from? I mean, it obviously came from me. It didn't come from someone else. It came from me. But I listened to it back and I think to myself, I accessed another me doing that song. I don't know where it came from, the inspiration. It just was brilliant, you know, and it didn't unfortunately chart, you know, it didn't get in the top 40. We tried it as a single and it didn't go top 40. I think had I have stuck to my guns and written the lyrics and sang it myself, it probably would have done. It would have been our like third single that had gone, you know, possibly even top 10. But yeah, you win some, lose some. It's a nice song, despite Chris.
Right, let's stop there.
And to be fair, that our first album was our most successful album. So because it did well, despite my interference, they call it interference, I call it fucking, you know, stopping it being a turd. and yeah, it sold really well. So no one's ever questioned me on that. I now fucking produce the albums. I record the albums. You know, I put the mic on the snare drum. I put the mics. I own the mics that we put on the snare drum. I own the room that we record the fucking drums in. I record the drum kit. It's mine. I own the guitars. I own the amps. I own everything. And that's because I don't want to release an album or release a song and have it do badly and they go, oh well, it's probably because the video wasn't right or this guy didn't do their best. It's like, no, fucking hell, if I do everything and then we release it and it doesn't work, that's on me. But if it goes really fucking well, that's on me as well. You know, you get other people involved, there's always an excuse for why it did well or why it did badly. You know, live and die by your own fucking sword. Unfortunately, you know, I had to live by that when I did my solo album. You know, that wasn't so good. Still genius, but... He's loving that one, isn't he? I'm looking at him in the corner, I was thinking, God, just don't... He's there.
It was
I won't.
Do you want to drop in if you know if it doesn't do so well, it's probably because of his vocals or something? Or are you happy to have?
No, I mean I'll cut.
Slagged me off enough.
I've slagged you off enough. Ask me a question about a song that I've done that's fucking shit. I'll say that I'm shit, but they don't get released. Those songs never leave my hard drive. So everything that goes out there in the world's fucking brilliant. Then people go, oh, what do you think? Oh, that's fucking brilliant. They say that I'm a control freak and I've got an ego and all that stuff. I can't help being great.
I've got half.
I know you were recording some of that. I saw you putting it on, so I kept going.
I thought, oh, Sean, you've got to film this.
But we're going to invent a time machine, go back and make him rewrite a shit song with a different fucking year in it. It's not going to happen.
Is it disappointing?
In what way? Disappointing we're not on the road? Not really. Once you've played 200 gigs, you know, does it really matter whether you've done 200 gigs, 300 gigs, 400 gigs? I mean, I've done hundreds of gigs in my life. I doubt I even notice an adrenaline rush now. I just go on stage, I do the bit, I get home. I prefer animating, I prefer recording, I prefer writing, I prefer driving, I prefer visiting friends. You know, literally the least favourite things that I enjoy about being in a band is gigging. So yeah, no, 2020 is brilliant, and it kind of is a bit of a fuck you at Chris for writing that shit song. And I think people are you know, they're basically blaming their own lack of learning new skills and diversity and things they could be doing on the government and what they're doing, just because they had a cushy life where, you know, everything was handed to them. You know, it's that guy would turn up at a venue and put a light up in the fucking ceiling and make a load of money out of it. Well, tough. Can't put the light up anymore, mate. Go and do something else. So, no sympathy at all. That is in no way true whatsoever. I've loads of sympathy for people, but that's what I've heard lots of.
We've got you the tour and why this year is significant. I feel like
we've already done that, covered that, yeah.
So,
relationships, is that we onto that one?
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll is literally the last thing. That's
okay,
left.
I've got a whole piece about that. So if you can't see that, I'm going to put.